everyone, and welcome to the third episode of Pillow Talk Self Therapy. And today we'll be discussing bursts of anger. Often, when we're experiencing sudden bursts of anger, our inner child is screaming for attention, feeling unseen, unheard, or unprotected. This child may be reacting to the past wounds or unresolved situation, frustrations, or feeling hopeless, and we are still carrying it with us to the adulthood. Instead of suppressing this sudden anger outburst, it's essential to recognize them as the signals from our inner child, and we need this part of us to be heard, recognized, nurtured, and reassured that everything is fine and we don't have to panic. So yeah, it's really truly important to be there for our inner child, even when we're angry, and to understand and comprehend what's happening with us. And that's why we have these self-therapy sessions. Yeah, and over here, just a quick reminder for you, how is and in what kind of tone of voice and vocab is better to talk with our inner child. I'm not going to be repeating it as I was talking about the last time in our previous video, in our very first episode. And yeah, I want to make these videos as short as possible because I know how time most of the time is really important for us these days. Okay, let's dive in right away. Number one, feeling unseen. This reaction I call explosive anger. It's when your needs are unmet and your inner child feels like they are invisible. So the outburst of anger would be like a call for recognition. What would I say to my inner child? I see you. I hear you. I'm listening. My feelings are valid. I am important. I matter. My needs deserve attention, and I will bring this attention right now. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to be frustrated. I'll make sure I will listen to my needs. I will listen to what I want, and I will care for myself. Okay. Number two, feeling of abandonment. This reaction I called desperation-fueled anger. When your inner child felt abandoned, that's when the anger can erupt in a way of defending against of overwhelming feeling of being alone. So what would I say to my inner child? I'm not alone. I'm here. I understand that sometimes it might be scary and sometimes you might be afraid, but I'm safe. You are safe. You have yourself every single time, every single minute, every single second. Even when you feel uncertain, I have and you have strength, knowledge within, and I will face everything with bravery that I have within me. Yay. Yeah, so reassure the kid that you have everything inside that you need. You have it. Show the inner kid what it has inside, because sometimes we're so blinded by the emotions and feelings that we're forgetting about it, or we are so into our daily life and daily routine that we're forgetting about our feelings. But our feelings should be seen and should be heard, so as in the inner child. Number three, feeling powerless. This reaction I would call rage's control. When inner child feels powerless, anger becomes a defense mechanism to regain a control over the life, all over situation that's happening in the life. So it's a way of saying that, oh, I'm in charge right now, or I want to be in charge. So what would I say to my inner child? I'm strong and capable. I have control over my life and over my feelings and over my response and over my emotions and behavior. I'm responsible and have control over everything I do and say. It's okay sometimes to be not in control of everything in my life and what's happening in my life. I have a voice and it will help me to be who I am, and it will help me to reach other people, to hear what I want and to know me and to see me. I am powerful. I'm so powerful. So to tell your inner kid that they're powerful at the time when they feel powerless is really important. It's like an affirmation. And it works. It really works. 4, Shame and guilt. This is a reaction of inner child that I call self-attacking anger. This is when inner child may lash out the anger as a way of punishing the self for mistakes and failures, and this comes from a very deep-seated feeling of shame. What would I say in this situation? Um, I don't have to be perfect. I kind of will never be perfect in a way, and I love myself for who I am. I will always make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes, and I can learn a lot from my mistakes and grow from them. And maybe one day my mistakes will become my strengths, and the mistakes, they don't define who I am. So I am worthy of love and forgiveness no matter what. Number 5, unmet needs. This reaction I call overburst over neglected desires. When your inner child feels ignored or neglected, sudden anger may surface as a way of expressing unmet needs or desires. So, what would I say to my inner child? My needs matter, and from now on, I'm going to pay attention to what I need and to what I want. I will listen to my inner voice that's telling me what are my true desires and needs are. I know I was ignoring this feeling and I was ignoring my needs, but I will pay close attention from now on what's happening with my life. I'll focus on what I need, and I'm deserving of love, care, um, and attention. So I'll work better on understanding and listening to my desires and what my body wants and needs. 6, feeling unprotected. This reaction I would call that in here anger is as a shield, and it is a way of defending against perceived threats or hurt that's coming our way. So it's like when people are trying to tell us something or to do something, and our inner child perceives it as a danger and as a threat, so they're going into this anger mode. So what would I say to myself afterwards? Because in a moment, I'm not sure you can do something and you will stress out more afterwards. But later on, what can I say to my inner child? I'm safe. I know how to protect myself, and I will protect myself. Um, and no matter what, I'm not going to allow anybody to hurt me in a way that I know will be painful for me. And even though I was building the walls before, now I will create my own shield that will be able to protect me from what's happening out there in the out world. So in here, you need to understand that it's also kind of a coping mechanism, that when person comes to you and you feel that like, oh, it's a danger, you're just getting angry at them because yeah, you need to show them that you're bigger. You're like, oh, I'm like a monster, I will show them that I have my power. But yeah, you know that that's not the best way to react at this particular situation. So either alone, you have to find out the other shield, not the anger shield, but the other one that will help you resolve the situation, or to work with the specialist with whom you can together find the shield. And please remember that finding the shield with your body is more effective than just with your mind. So yeah, somatic specialist like me or the other one, if you know, would be the best choice to find out the shield for yourself. Number 7, past traumas or the reaction of triggered anger. Old wounds resurface and our inner child reacts to them with anger, especially if old traumas, they were unresolved, unprocessed, and not healed. So what would I say? I know this hurt, but I'm not in the past anymore. I'm safe now. The pain is real. I can heal it anytime I want. And I don't have to carry this pain with me anymore. I acknowledge this pain, but I don't want it to control it. And I'm not going to allow it to control me because I'm stronger now. Yay. Number 8, fear of rejection. That's when our inner child might lash out in anger before they can be rejected, trying to protect themselves from anticipated hurt. What would I say? It's okay to fear rejection, but I am enough as I am, and no one can take it away from me. I don't need to push people away, and I don't have to be accepted by everyone, and everyone shouldn't love me. But I'm lovable and I belong. Even if I don't, even if other people don't understand me, I'm worthy of love and acceptance. And there will be people who will love me and accept me for who I am, no matter what. I will find my people if I haven't found them yet. Number 9, frustration with boundaries. This is anger over violated boundaries. It's when inner child might become frustrated and furious when they feel like their boundaries were violated and neglected, especially when they were disrespected in their past. What would I say to myself? My boundaries matter. I can enforce them anytime, any moment if I feel that they're not as strong as they were. It's okay to say no to other people, and I'm not gonna let other people to cross my boundaries. I can protect my space and I can protect myself, and I know how to keep myself safe. And the last one, fear of being seen. It is the direction of anger as a defense against vulnerability. When our inner child feels exposed, anger can surface as a defense mechanism to avoid vulnerability and protect themselves from judgment, because we don't like to be judged, right? So what would I say to my inner child? It's okay to be seen. You don't have to hide anymore. And I'm safe even when people see me for who I am. And it's okay to show people who I am. That's how they can know me, and that's when I can be my true self. And vulnerability is actually a strength, and I can find my power in it, and I can be open without fear. These sudden bursts of anger aren't something to fear. This is when your inner child trying to communicate unmet needs and resolve the emotions and past hurts. By listening to these outbursts with compassion, you can begin to heal and integrate this vulnerable part of yourself. Remember, the key is not to suppress them, but to understand its roots and reassure your inner child that they're loved, heard, and safe. So this is the end for our today's session, and next time we're going to be talking about our burst of anger, but from the perspective of shadow self. See you next time.